Hey, what's up, nerds? Today's Friday, August 23rd. The draft is in a few days at 7 p.m. Central. I figured I could just share this video basically of me going over the updated scoring from I'll compare what a default ESPN league would be to compared to what our rules are. There's a few changes that I think are important to know, and instead of printing off a document and bringing it to the draft, given that there's only going to be like between 5 and 6 people there, I figured I'd make this video and just share it with everyone so you all have somewhat of an idea of how the scoring is, and maybe this might tweak, your players you really like or dislike going into an auction draft where everyone's available. So I'm going to start with the scoring first. I'm going to start going through the passing settings or passing scoring, and I'll be picking up my phone and showing you the side-by-side comparison as well. So if you see the camera dizzy, well, oh well. So for passing, in a standard ESPN league, you go off of every one passing yard, which is 0.04 points. Pete has it to where every 25 passing yards is 1 point. So if your quarterback throws for 100 yards, that's 4 points. If it's 200, that's 8 points. None of these decimal points. So if your quarterback scores, or if your quarterback throws for 99 yards, well, that's still only 3 points. That's not 3.9, whatever. So that's one. Passing touchdowns are still the same at 4 points per passing touchdown. For interceptions thrown, standard is -2. Pete has it in our league at -4, so you get a higher penalty for throwing interceptions. 2-point conversions, still 2 points, and then the only extra thing is for quarterbacks that throw for a 300 to 399 yard passing game, they are awarded a bonus 4 points. So if you have someone that just throws it all over the field or is in a high passing offense, that's a rewarded 4 points. So you might be more inclined to draft a Josh Allen, or his auction bid might be inflated because of that over, a team like, I don't know, let's say the Patriots, who are more of a run-heavy team. Plus their quarterback is kind of dumb anyways. So anyways, I'll show you the scoring for this. Gosh, I can't even see where my phone is. There you go. So, yep. So 25 yards, that's for us, and then it's the standard. Touchdown passes are still 4. And then interceptions thrown. These are just screenshots, by the way, so they're not actually like a side-by-side comparison. I basically just created a brand new league and just figured out what the settings were. All right, so that's for passing, or mainly quarterbacks. There's only one quarterback spot on our roster. Do what you will with that information. All right, rushing. Kind of the same concept. Rushing is, we're going away from the decimal, so in a standard league, it's usually every 1 rushing yard you get 0.1 points. In this one, it is every 10 rushing yards you get 1 point. So 100 yards, 10 points. If you get 99 yards, 9 points. All right. Rushing touchdowns are still the same at 6. 2-point conversion, still at 2 for both. And then same with the quarterback, or same with the passing. If your running back rushes for 100 to 199 yards, you get a bonus 4 points. So that is that. I'm not going to show you because I'm kind of being lazy. All right, receiving. So it is a half PPR. So that's the same as last year. And then same as kind of rushing and throwing. The standard ESPN scoring is every 1 receiving yard is 0.1 points. We are moving it to every 10 receiving yards is 1 point. So 20 yards, 2 points. 100 yards, 10 points, which is good for receivers, so that might inflate their numbers. Touchdown receptions are 6 points, so that did not change from a standard versus our league. 2-point conversions are still 2, and then same bonus applies if a receiver has a 100 to 199 yard receiving game. They get a bonus 4 points. All right, so that is the offense. So basically, quarterback, running back, receiver, and tight end. So that's the offense here. For kicking rules, basically, there are some changes. So keep in mind of the changes here. For kicking, the point after attempt, or a PAT or PAT, is still 1 point for each point after attempt made. However, if your kicker misses a point after attempt, it's minus 2 points, which is different from the standard, which is 0 points. In the standard, minus 2 points for the PAT. Let's see. And then no other changes really of the field goals. If your kicker misses a field goal, it's minus 1 point. That's pretty normal. That did not change. 0 to 39 is 3 points. 40 to 49 is 4 points. 50 to 59 is 5 points. And 60 plus is 6 points. That is all the same as standard kicking scoring. So that did not change. Instead of going to the defense next, I'm going to go miscellaneous, which is just like more odd things. So I guess it is. Okay. Yeah, so this is considered miscellaneous, but it looks like it's special teams and defense. Nothing has changed. Kickoff return touchdown is 6 points. Punt return is 6 points. Fumble recovery for a touchdown is 6 points. However, if your team loses a fumble, it is minus 4 points, and the standard is minus 2 points. So kind of like an interception for a turnover lost, it's minus 4 points. If your quarterback just fumbles a ball and their team recovers, or your running back fumbles, it's just 0 points for a total fumble. That's what it says on miscellaneous, but it might be different in defense. So I'm just kind of reading what the screenshots say. Other than that, nothing else is different. Interception return 6, fumble return is 6, blocked punt or field goal is 6, and 2 point return is 2 points, 1 point safety is 1 point. That did not change from the standard. All right, team defense. Now there's a lot of categories here, and there are some changes that Pete made that might change who you want to pick for a defense based on the points here. So every sack is worth 1 point. That did not change. Interception return touchdown, we talked about that. That's still 6 points. Kind of cross-referencing here. Okay, each interception is now worth 4 points instead of 2 points. And each fumble recovered is also 4 points versus 2 points from the standard. Each safety is still worth 2 points. Each fumble forced is worth 0 points. And that's the same as the standard scoring. All right. And the defensive points here did kind of change here. So under the points allowed category. So if your defense allows 0 points, they get or your defense holds the other team to 0 points. It's still 5 points. That did not change. If they hold them to 1 to 6 points, that's also 5 points, which is different than the standard. That's 4 points. So 1 point difference there. If your defense has 7 to 13 points against, it's 4 points. 14 to 17 is 3 points, and 18 to 21 is 3 points. So anywhere between 14 and 21 is 3 points. 22 to 27 points is 2 points, and 28 to 34 is 1 point. How that is different from the standard, basically it goes, so for us, for our league, it goes, 0 to 7 or 0 to 6 is 5 points, 7 to 13 is 4 points, 14 to 21 is 3 points. And then 22 to 27 is 2 points. In the standard, it's 0 points allowed is 5 points. 1 to 6 points is 4. 7 to 13 is 3. 14 to 17 is 1. 18 to 27 is 0. But then you get negative points. Minus 1 point for 28 to 34. And then 35 to 45 is minus 3. And then 45 points plus is minus 5, that is the same for ours. So the 28 to 34 points allowed in our league is just worth 1 point, but then if your defense allows 35 to 45 points, it's minus 3, and then 45 plus is still minus 5. So that is a little bit different. You're not losing as much points. You're actually gaining more points because now that offenses score more points, you're not being penalized if your team gives up 4 touchdowns. You're actually gaining points if your team gives up 4 touchdowns. So it makes the worst defenses just slightly better. Another change that Pete had was if we're not going against yards against. Yards against is not factored into your points at all. It is for the standard scoring, so kind of same rules apply. If your defense holds the offense to 100 to 200 points, you get 3 points. 200 to 300 is 2 points. And then if they give up 350 points or 350 yards, it's minus 1. 400 to 450 is minus 3. That's not the case for our league. You don't get penalized for yards against. It's only points. And then the same for 2-point return and 1-point safeties, which we already covered. That is the same. So that's pretty much it for the scoring rules. There's a little bit of scoring bonuses for the offense, and then less penalties for the defensive scoring, and like that. So I'm going to go over free agency now. Free agency is now a free agent budget. So kind of like if you've ever done a guillotine league, you have a free agency budget. You don't just pick up a player off the waiver wire for free. Yeah, you have a $100 budget for the whole year, for the whole season, I should say. The minimum offer you can make per player is $1. So if you're, scrapped for time and you're trying to pick up someone Sunday morning or Saturday morning, depending if it's a foreign game, you have to pay $1 fake money to the auction, and that's how that works. So, and then there's a bidding system. So if, let's say, I don't know, let's just use a backup. So let's just say for whatever reason, no one drafts, I don't know, Sam Darnold. And Sam Darnold is now thrown for like 400 yards first 2 games, whatever. He'll be pretty sought after in the free agency pickup. So how it works is same kind of waiver wire schedule applies. You will make a bid on the player, and then it will be determined, I believe. I'm just looking at the thing. You can look with me here too. It locks individually. So yeah, free agency budget, player acquisition budget's $100, minimum offers $1. Free agency budget tiebreaker, it resets each week to the inverse order of the standings. So the last place team will have priority if you and one other team decides to bid for this same amount for that player. It does lock. Transactions do lock for the playoffs when playoffs start, and locked teams not eligible for third place will not be able to pick up players or trade players. Trading rules are still the same. There's no limit to how many times you can trade. Trade deadline is November 29th, which is probably, I don't know, halfway to 3/4 way of the season. No keepers. Regular season still the same as last year. It looks like there'll be 13 regular season games. Matchup tiebreaker is most bench points, and there's no bonuses for wins and losses. And then for playoffs, playoffs are still the same as last year. There'll be 4 teams in the playoff. Weeks in the round 1 playoff, there's 2, and then weeks in the championship round is also 2. And then the playoff seeding tiebreaker. So let's say 3 teams at 1 year, 3 teams did tie for 4th place. However, the team with the most points for will move on to the 4th place seed. So that's kind of it for the settings here. Good luck to everybody on Monday. If you want, you can pause the video and look at it yourself, or you can look into this team settings. So yeah, that's it. Good luck again, and I hope you all lose and I win.